22nd of July. It's a minute or two past midnight in Europe. So very good evening from Europe. Good morning, good afternoon, guys, wherever you are. Piotr here, this is Light Forex Global YouTube channel, and this is the pre-Tokyo Open, or Tokyo Open if you wish. I've been already close to put myself into the bed when the news hit the market, and we are talking about the news from UK. Britain is close to abandoning hope of Brexit trade deal, right, guys? So pound is moving lower towards the end of the day, and that's what we are going to discuss. If we have a little bit of the time, then we are going to go through a few other instruments. So without a further delay, let's have a look what we have when it comes to the British pound. All right, so for me, nothing new. Well, I'm still bearish, and those guys hit the levels based on the weekly chart again. All right, so let's switch first to the weekly chart, and that's what we are talking about. That's the huge supply level been hit 7 weeks ago, and today we hit that again based on overall negative dollar sentiment, right? But looks like towards the end of the day, the news related to the UK, it's taking over. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to clean a few things on that chart, just to trying to explain you what is going on. During our afternoon meeting, I've mentioned that I'm short, medium, and short term, right? That's the swing high, the previous one, all right? And well, we just hit, from the weekly chart perspective, we hit supply again, and what is even more important is a daily close. Yes, it's below. It's not the highest close, it's below the previous, right? So I do expect that we might see retest of that levels we've seen to the left, all right? Maybe even a little bit higher, retest of today's high, trying to grab few stops, and I do expect some pullback, right? I do expect the price will go lower, closer to the weekly open, right? And here we have nice liquidity pool, plenty of stops waiting to be taken out at these levels, and and we are talking about levels close to 2025, right? And overall today, for me, for some of you it could be still Tuesday, but for some of us it's Wednesday already, right? If we are going to get midweek reversal, then we might try to, it could be crazy move, cannot be ruled out, but the distance to the upside, it was above 200 pips, right? So if we are going to break the weekly open, so then the 200 pips to the downside, there you go. We are taking out 25, landing around 23.50. What is around 23.50? Over under. Could that be possible? Well, of course it could be possible. So I'm staying short cable, and of course from the intraday perspective, tomorrow depends on the price action. I'm going to try to add into the short position. If you are guys gonna watch the Tokyo session, right? Well, everything could happen, right? As I mentioned, we might hit even higher levels. But if you are going to watch Tokyo session, I would watch the bottom of that candle. If you remember one of the educational video related to the power candle, plus we have latest demand zone based on the Riley base Riley, right? Riley base Riley, broken, retest, boom, boom, boom. That's how I see the things when it comes to the cable. Okay, hopefully that's clear, and that was the eventually intraday setup for the Tokyo session. Well, if you remember our afternoon meeting, also I've mentioned that I'm long euro pound, so also being short pound via euro, right? And looks like taking into the consideration the latest weakness, and if you remember 24 hours ago I made the example of the cable from Friday, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, I strongly encourage you to visit educational section on the Light Forex Global YouTube channel, all right? And looks like the very bottom we as a bulls were able to hold nice reversal. Of course, the weekly open, that's gonna be the next target. We will see what's going to happen. Of course, we have to get some kind of the confirmation. It could be just newspapers, rumors. So by the rumors, so the fact that could work out, especially that the part of the day it's late, right? So of course it could be some kind of the fake news, but looks like almost all important newspapers in UK are talking about that. So what I'm gonna to look for here, there is untested level I like. So if I'm going to look to add, I would like to see some kind of the pullback. Of course, not sure if we are going to get that one towards 90.30, 90.25 when it comes to the euro pound, and then continuation of the Riley. Well, first target around 91, but then another one 91.30 and higher. Still, I think 93. That's the medium-term target for the bulls, and that's what I'm gonna to look for. All right, we still have a few minutes to go, so let's summarize what we discussed this afternoon. EURCAD, very nicely done, right? We were talking about the move back and long, retest, long, boom, shakalak, we did it. That's okay. Unfortunately, I've been forced to cut my long on the other Canadian dollar cross, so I took the long somewhere here. They went even lower. I've been forced taking profit on the EURCAD. I also took small loss on the USDCAD long. Overall, with the Canadian dollar short position, I ended up in a green, right? But congratulations, guys. I missed that one, to be honest with you. We were discussing CAD yen. I missed that one. Congratulations if you were able to take the short. What I'm gonna to look for, the same based on the same what we discussed this afternoon, but this time based on the intraday chart, right? So what I'm looking for a retest of the 79.50 this time, right? So very similar price action. I'm looking for the same what we discussed on a daily chart earlier today, right? So again, if you missed our afternoon meeting, strongly encourage you to visit the archive section and check what we were discussing this afternoon. So the same, I'm looking for a spike, taking out these stops, and when trying to visualize, so I would like to see the body below and some kind of the upper shadow, and that's gonna be immediately selling opportunity for me from the aggressive perspective, with the first target around 79.22. I'm a little bit tired, so I don't know if I'm going to participate in the Tokyo session, but we will see what we are going to get closer to the European Open. And finally, some profit taking took place when it comes to the Nasdaq, right? Another rejection around quite important level. When we are talking about the levels above 11,000, right, we have another rejection, we have another negative body and red color when it comes to the daily close. Of course, for now, the weekly open is the first demand zone from the higher time frame perspective, so that's where we are going to probably meet the demand, right? From the intraday perspective, if you remember the discussion about the first 5-minute trading range, right? There was the plan, right, to try to buy, but when we were discussing, we've seen huge sell-off, right? So then there was a 1, 2 retest and lower, and in that case, guys, of course, congratulations if you were short based on that. A little bit tricky, I can see here. In my opinion, it could end up with the megaphone formation over here, like this. So I do expect retest of the higher levels and huge sell-off later on. So if you know the stats, pre-market Asian futures, US futures usually are rising. So that's what I'm looking for. Then some rejection when it comes to the cash market. Don't forget Wednesday tomorrow, so midweek reversal possible on some assets, right, guys? It was my pleasure to make this pre-Tokyo or Tokyo Open, whatever you want to call it, for you guys. The pound could be the star tomorrow. Doesn't matter if we are going to go higher or lower, just we need the move, right? And that's the first thing. The second, we have to be on the right side of the trade. Anyway, guys, if something necessary, then we are going to meet around the London Open. Otherwise, I strongly encourage you to visit us again around the US Open. It was a pleasure again. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great night. Have a great Tokyo trading session, guys. See you around. Take care and goodbye.